And if you're going to pack those, and you don't have to worry about y'all's ages, but at my age, if you're going to pack that many calories, you might as well get what you're, if you're going to do it, just go all in.
Exactly. Hi, Mayor Maddox.
Hello, guys.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here with us today. My name is Maya Young, and I'm the programs director for our chapter leader. So we're going to be asking you a couple questions first, just to get to know you and your role a little better. So we like to start off with some icebreakers. So they're less serious questions, but just to get to know you more. So my first question for you, since this is pizza and politics, is what is your go-to pizza order?
Glad to be here and glad to talk pizza and politics. Meat lovers, put as much meat as you can.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
yes, I'm totally with pepperoni on it too. I can't just have it, just plain cheese. Now, when you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up? Did you always want to be mayor or involved in politics?
I never dreamed I'd be doing this. I wanted to be a football player and a football coach, and I could have never imagined doing this for a living and as a profession. But I always had, I remember going with my mama when she voted for Jimmy Carter, and that was 1977. And I just remember that kind of started, I would read encyclopedias. Those don't exist today about politics. So I always kind of had an interest in it, but I never had a desire for it.
Right. Our last icebreaker question for you is, what fictional character would you like to meet and why?
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm a nonfiction guy, so that's really interesting. Fictional person, Frank Underwood from House of Cards. The character is so evil, but yet you like him.
Yeah, he seems very nuanced.
Yeah, and then James Bond maybe after that.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be a given. I feel like he'd be a pretty cool person to meet for anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'll hand it off to our co-chapter leader, Armaria, and she's going to be asking you some preliminary questions about your role in government.
Well, hi once again, Mayor Maddox. Thank you so much once again for taking out your time to be here with us. And one of my questions for you today are, what are the responsibilities of your role within government?
Well, in Tuscaloosa, the mayor is really unique. And in Alabama, there's deal in rural state, which means we're basically a creature of the Alabama legislature. And so many cities are different than others. So in Tuscaloosa, the mayor is not only the CEO, the chief executive officer, he's also the city manager as well. So I spend most of my day really just managing the day-to-day activities of the city. But there's also a political bent to it. I have the ability to veto and certainly work and propose to the city council, no different than a governor to a legislature or a president to a Congress. So I really enjoy that aspect. I get to do day-to-day administration, but at the same time, I still get to be involved in politics. So that's the way we're structured here in Tuscaloosa.
My second question for you is, why do you believe that local government is so important?
Well, it's interesting because we tend to pay attention, and me too, by the way, to what happens in DC or what happens in Montgomery. But if you think about the things that really impact your life, most of you today got water from Lake Tuscaloosa to take a shower, to brush your teeth, everything that we need water for. Well, the city of Tuscaloosa handles all that. Spends hundreds of millions of dollars handling that. You drove on our roads, you had our red lights, fire protection, police protection, everything that you count on for government to provide, if you think about it today, has come from local government. And that's what we do every single day. And the local government level will impact you much more than the state or federal level. It's just that the state and federal level have there's a dynamic that's different and ever changing. And it's even more, it's so different than it was 5 years ago, even 10 years ago.
Hey, Mayor Maddox. My name is Jeremiah Lothar. I'm also a co-chapter leader of the Alabama chapter, Stay the Students. So my question is, why should people care about the local government?
If you want to get active in politics, I would say it's a great way to make a difference in your community. A good friend of mine is now Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg. I've known Pete for years. We've served on committees together. He was mayor of a city, roughly the size of Tuscaloosa. And Pete made a great difference at the local level, and now he's got a chance to make a difference at a national level. If you want to make a difference, in my day, I can help create jobs, I can improve education, I can make sure you have clean water, and then I can make certain Miss Smith gets her garbage cart replaced. So you can go and deal with a lot of big issues, but to Miss Smith, getting that garbage cart fixed may be the most important thing in her day. So for me, there's a lot of self-satisfaction to know that I get to make a difference on many different levels, whether on the macro or the micro levels.
Well, thank you, Mayor. So now we're going to move on to a couple of Tuscaloosa-specific questions about your stances on various issues.
Okay.
So, well, this is more of a general question, but how does your role as a senior fellow in Harvard University's Program of Crisis Leadership impact your leadership approach as Tuscaloosa's mayor?
Well, it's been to me, it's been very helpful because I learn. The thing that, another piece of advice I can give you is that, God gives you two great gifts. He gives you the ability of free will to make your own decisions, and then he gives you the ability to learn. And one of the things that being part of this fellowship allows me is to be around people who have been through different types of crises and get to see their approach to leadership. And there's always something to be learned about what other people are doing. And I say copy, but not in a bad way, taking that and applying it to what you do. And then hopefully the things that we do here, we're able to help other communities across the state. So for me, it just makes me a better leader. It's better professional development. And I also get, just frankly, as a kid from Tuscaloosa that grew up in Idlewood, to be part of something at Harvard University is just really a cool honor. And I enjoy going to Boston and showing them that people in Alabama are not what they think we are. Look, just to be blunt, I mean, we still have a national image problem, and sometimes it's deserved. Okay, we sometimes do it to ourselves. But we have a lot of smart people like you in this state who can contribute not only to our region, but to our entire nation. So for me, it's a great honor and thrill.
And my next question for you, with us still being, of course, in a pandemic right now, what are our city's strategies for regularly enforcing a mask mandate, even with us being underneath a state one, that could help out within our community?
Well, just to kind of go backwards and then working forward is that with COVID-19, there really wasn't a solid playbook. Now, we've been through pandemic training exercises in the past, so we had some sense of it. But when it struck, I was really proud that we took very proactive actions early within the city. And that bought our hospital system time because our North Star was ensuring that DCH would have the PPE, staffing, treatment options available, room capacity to be able to deal with the COVID-19 patients. We bought ourselves a lot of time with the measures that we took in March, April, and May. So we learned a lot. And then we implemented the mask ordinance really ahead of the state, which I think it was another good idea because that's when the virus, we were told back in March and April that the virus would go away in the summer and then reappear in the fall, but that never happened. And once we began to see that data, we determined that, a mask ordinance would be good.
Our final question for you is, can you describe your administration's progress in improving preschool education for at-risk youth in our community, and what are your administration's plans in this area for the future?
This is probably one of, as a team, our proudest achievements is that this year in the city of Tuscaloosa, we had universal pre-K thanks to Elevate Tuscaloosa. And the state average is below 40% in terms of the availability in the community. So we're far exceeded. And we know through pre-K, the test results are phenomenal that more than 80% of the students that enter into our pre-K program that are not on grade level, by the time they finish first grade, will be on grade level. And we need children by third grade reading to learn instead of learning to read. And there's another scary data point that's out there. If you're not reading on grade level by fourth grade, there's an 80% chance you will not graduate high school. And just think about that. You're 9 years old in fourth grade, but your entire opportunity in life has already been, greatly diminished. So what we want to do in the future is continue the track on universal pre-K, Tuscaloosa. And the reason why is we know that if Maya decides to participate in dual enrollment, there's an 88% chance she's going to go on to college. or go into a career trade path and get her certificate or whatever you need to work in that field. To me, that's important. I'll not leave you with this, but this weekend, it's really amazing we're having this conversation. When I was a freshman in college, I walked on to play football at UAB. And so I was paying my own way and my parents were helping me. My sister was already in college at UA. My parents, I grew up in Idlewood, and my parents had to sell their house, and they moved to a rental house in Fayette just so they could keep my sister and I in school. And that's why when I ran for governor, I wanted a college lottery plan. So no parent would ever have to make that choice between, paying for their child's future and, giving up their home. Well, this weekend, for the first time in 29 years, I remember the day we moved out of that house in Idlewood. And I remember my mom crying in the foyer of that house. And, I'd always felt a huge amount of guilt in my life. And so for the first time, I went back into the house in 29 years because I was doing door to door for our upcoming campaign. And it brought back a lot of memories, but it also affirmed what we're doing through Elevate with our dual enrollment scholarship. College is so expensive, but it's so necessary. And so it gives our children, I say children here, young adults in Tuscaloosa, the opportunity to get that education.
Thank you so much. And I know I personally can attest they have been spreading that around with our school last semester. And I was also able to apply for that personally. So I am really excited to take advantage of that and for other kids in my school and in the school system to take advantage of that as well. But we just want to say thank you so much again for taking time out to speak with us and to answer our questions. We know this is a very busy time, not only with the pandemic, but also, with your campaign and running for re-election. So we do wish you the best of luck with everything.
I appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing because I've only got a few more years of doing this. I need somebody to come take my place. I hope all of you have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.